Hello friends and family from around the world, this is Mike with Morning Dew Daily Events Worldwide, and we are on May 23rd, 2021. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet, and welcome to the Daily Dew, where we look at world weather and space weather, everything else that's affecting humanity, looking at our sun the last 48 hours, and it is still very active, shooting out yet more flares. That's right, another M-class flare and another C-class flare, and quite possibly an X-class flare. We're going to be quickly looking here at all of the last 48 hours of imagery. Outgoing here, lots of plasma flying around there from the ejecting solar flares. Look at that spastic sunspot. Boom. So yeah, not quite an X flare, but yeah, M-class. 2B class, a C class. It's at least 4 or 5 flares in the past 38 or 36 hours on our sun. Looking at the multi-spectrum here, and see the full effects. You can see on the bottom right hand side there, another CME shot away, and this one is heading towards Earth as well. So we are expecting our space weather from those events tomorrow and the day after, and then there's more coming. As you can see, LASCO 2 and 3 showing a right side blow there, and that covered at least a third of the corona. So definitely an Earth-facing event, and ISWA is showing it heading our way. Let's have a quick look at our real-time solar wind right now, as we are calm at 375 kilometers per second after being elevated to 580 kilometers. Down now, and expecting it to change over the next little bit, especially with even more space weather coming our way. Here is the latest ISWA space weather model. You can see we are going to get a glancing blow from that most recent solar flare. Looking at our Schumann resonance for today, we are at a power of 61, quality of 15.6, amplitude 61. And let's have a look at earthquakes here the last 24 hours. As yeah, we've got a situation happening in Africa with the Nyiragongo volcano, but now earthquakes today after the large eruption, and there's still so much pressure wanting to come up here. Many earthquakes through Rwanda, 4.5 to 4.3, all around the volcano. So there's definitely more coming. Small earthquakes here to report. China, 4.1, 4.1, as well as 4.5 here in India to report. A couple earthquakes here in the Philippines as well, 5.1 and a 5.5, 104 kilometer depth. As well, active South Sumatra here around the Krakatoa volcano, 5.0 to 5.2. As well, Marianas Trench seeing a pretty deep earthquake today, 310 kilometer depth, 4.1. Seismicity coming back to Japan, 4.6, 4.4. As well, 4.3 there, Russia. Largest report through Alaska, Aleutian Islands, 3.9. Sandpoint, Alaska. And then Hawaii's situation there as well today, 4.2 earthquake reported here, Hawaii region, and that is just southeast of the Kilauea caldera. We'll get more into that. I'll show you exactly where those earthquakes are. 4.6 here to report in Mexico. And the earthquakes continue through Quinton, Oklahoma, as well through Lake Davis, California. Yesterday I mentioned quakes in the lakes, which is a growing trend recently. Let's have a look at USGS, all of the most recent earthquakes here. This is the last 7 days through Quinton region. We got something bubbling up there for sure through Oklahoma. All these quakes just south of the lake. As well, all of the earthquakes east of Mono Lake and through Mammoth Lakes. Dollar Point, Lake Tahoe, and then most recent here, Lake Davis, California. Give you a quick look here at USGS overlooking Hawaii. This is the last 7 days for earthquakes. Most recent there, 2.5. As well, northward towards the Kilauea caldera, 4.2. As well, right around the caldera. So, heads up, everybody in Hawaii. Let's carry on here. Central America, Nicaragua there with a 5.1. As well, Puerto Rico rocking today, largest being a 3.5. South America seeing activity too. San Antonio de los Cobros, 4.9, 4.2. No major deep earthquakes there. 5.3 also reported here. South Sandwich Islands. And of course, Africa. And the North Pole here, Reykjanes Ridge with a 4.4. And as well, Norwegian Sea with a 4.5. And that's the last 24 hours for earthquakes. Our deepest being 522 kilometer depth, 4.4 here, Fiji region, as well 4.7 New Zealand, Kermadec Islands. Let's have a quick look at the last 7 days for earthquakes. So a lot of green and a lot of yellow. So that's a lot of 4s and 5s earthquakes across the planet. And a lot as of late through China. And interesting quakes there through the African plate around Nyiragongo, near Miragira. And as well, continuing seismicity around Antarctic plate. And I just think it's still way too quiet here. North American plate. Heads up, everybody. Have a plan. Let's have a look at the Pacific Disaster Center showing the most recent volcanoes to update. Looking at Sangay in Ecuador, Nevadas de Chilean in Chile, Nyiragongo in the Congo region, Ebuko in Russia, Dakota, Indonesia, Pacaya, Luatolo, Swiss and Ajima, Reventador, Fuego, Etna, and Popo, Semeru, Nevadas de Ruiz in Colombia. So yeah, that's about a dozen volcanoes being updated today. And as I reported earlier, there are active and erupting 42 volcanoes across the planet. Look at the volcano activity report if you haven't seen it yet. And as well, we've got extreme weather conditions breaking out across South Dakota, North Dakota, tornado warnings popping off throughout the day and tonight. So heads up, Central Plains area, the United States, and then northward. As, yeah, there's a lot of moisture wrapped up in this system and heading towards Alberta. Tropical Depression Anna here makes a trek northeastward, wrapping itself up with low pressure system heading towards Greenland. That is still the forecast for Tropical System Anna. As well being squished by 2 high pressure ridges. Let's have a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by Meteor-Earth and Morning Dew, daily events worldwide. Starting out here, home base, Calgary, Alberta, as we finally have some spring-like rains. It's still kind of cool, but spring-like rains throughout the day today, and we're expecting quite a bit over the next couple days. You can see that large system developing here. And believe it or not, that is the tropical system that came out of the Gulf and raged through Texas. That's right. It is now in Canada. Same low pressure system. And it's going to scoot its way eastward, bringing moisture across the nation. We've also got a Colorado low developing here in the States through the Central Plains and eastward. Watch for extreme weather pretty much Wednesday and onward. And watch for extreme weather through Saskatchewan as well. It could see some thunderstorms. And we've got some big rain heading into the coastline here for BC and as well southward into Oregon, not quite California. But this system will be penetrating the coastline for a couple days. Overlooking eastern parts of the country, you can see that Alberta Clipper going to bring moisture eastward but as well cold temperatures behind it. Here's a forecast area for Tropical Storm Anna getting wrapped up. And you can tell because look at these tight isobars over Greenland and the extreme windy conditions. Definitely something's up when we've got a tropical system heading from the Atlantic to the North Pole making landfall in Greenland. It's not the first time either. It just happened last year. Overlooking Europe, only major weather system here to talk about is the one coming from the UK this week. Going to bring rain through central regions. No major weather systems other than that. Overlooking the West Indies and Southeast Asia. Watch for heavy snow through Tibetan region, Mongolia mountains. And then watch for this tropical cyclone to make landfall the Bay of Bengal through India. That's going to bring quite an extreme weather event to parts of India and northern Pakistan this week. So heads up, my East Indian friends and family around the world. Overlooking Malaysia, Indonesia. Watch for heavy rains through parts of Thailand and as well Papua New Guinea. Low pressure system here just sweeping the southern part of Australia. And then watch as all of this equatorial moisture gets scooted from the intertropical convergence right into southwestern Perth of Australia. And then quite a situation here developing over New Zealand. You've got a big, cold, low-pressure system heading to you in the long-range forecast. That could be an extreme weather event for you. So heads up, New Zealand. Overlooking the Pacific, high-pressure ridge still pretty dominant. No major weather systems for Hawaii. Interesting tracks and positioning of these low pressure systems across the northern hemisphere especially. Overlooking South America, watch for heavy rains through central regions, Panama, Mexico, Nicaragua, northward. Other than that, no major weather systems except for a big one developing later in the week for Argentina. Same with Africa, no major weather systems. Actually, it's going to be pretty dry and warm here for the next little bit. So thoughts and prayers going out to everybody being affected in Africa. You've got the volcano to worry about, and now you're going to have some extreme heat and zero rain. I'm going to leave you here looking at the southern hemisphere versus the northern, pointing out the major weather systems in the southern hemisphere right now, and as well the big player in the north. Thanks everybody for watching today. This has been Mike with Morning Dew, daily events worldwide. Much love, and thank you for subscribing, and welcome to the family. Stay aware and prepared, stay young and have fun, and get your Morning Dew. God bless humanity. Bye-bye. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends and family from across the